KTRS. This portion of the show brought to you by the Fountain on Locust. And time now to talk with Kat Neville, editor and publisher of Feast magazine, who couldn't get in here this morning because of the problems on Highway 40, right, Kat?
That's right. It was a parking lot, so I decided rather than be late, I would call it.
Okay, well, always nice to talk to you in any way we can. What do you have for us this morning?
So I have two really fantastic spots that have opened up in downtown St. Louis. I know that people are always asking, where is there to eat downtown? And there are two brand new places from very well-regarded restaurateurs that have opened up, and I think you're going to be really excited about them. So the first one is another location of Sugar Fire. Are you familiar with Sugar Fire?
Best barbecue in town. Yes, well, I'm familiar with Sugar Fire.
I guess he's familiar with it then.
That was definitive.
The week that they opened up at Olive and 170, I was there in the line.
Oh, you stood in line?
Oh, well, if you go there anytime between 11:30 and 1 o'clock on a weekday, it's out the door. But the line moves quickly,
yes.
and people, don't stay there for an hour having lunch. It's barbecue after all.
Well, I'm saying I was surprised you stood in line because I don't think you're like a standing in line kind of person.
I'm not.
I didn't think so.
But when I heard about great barbecue, and I also heard that the line is never longer than 10 minutes. Even if you're at the door, you're still going to get your food in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. I can do 10 minutes. I'm not doing an hour in 10 minutes,
right.
But I'll do 10 minutes. So where's the new location?
Well, so this location is at 605 Washington, and it is the latest in a string of Sugar Fire spots. So you mentioned the first one, which is in Olivet. They also have a location in St. Charles. They have a location in Valley Park, and they also have a location in Washington, Missouri, which is a beautiful town along the Missouri River. And if you've never been to Washington, this is a nice excuse to head out there. It totally warrants a visit. So the spot on Washington is 4,000 square feet. I think it's their biggest location. It seats 100 people. And it's a very casual kind of almost cafeteria style dine-in location. And like you mentioned, they have classic barbecue, classic sides. But really, what is so fun about what Sugar Fire does are all of their daily specials, and also some of the special stuff they have on the menu. Like they're known for their Big Muddy sandwich, which is this massive brisket sandwich that's piled with brisket, smoked sausage, barbecue sauce, horseradish sauce on a massive bun. But if you take a look at their Twitter feed, and they have feeds for each one of their locations, you can see what their daily rotating specials are. So, for example, yesterday at the downtown spot, their specials were a pulled rib quesadilla where it had double smoked rib meat that was pulled and then kind of like just swathed in melted Monterey Jack, sauteed peppers and onions and fresh pico de gallo. And then they also had, this is kind of amazing sounding, a double down chicken biscuit where they had ham and bacon and Swiss cheese and American cheese, plus their special sauce, sandwiched with 2 smoked and fried chicken thighs on a biscuit.
I'm not a health food kind of guy, but that's a little bit over the top, don't you think, Kat?
I think that's the point. I mean, I think that so much of what Sugar Fire does is they're known for their, number one, great just, pulled pork, ribs, brisket, good old-fashioned barbecue. But they're known for these kind of over-the-top, incredibly fun specials where you hear it and you're like, that sounds kind of amazingly good, and and maybe I can share it with a friend, but just really amazing stuff. And sides include things like sweet potato hash, mac and cheese, jambalaya, greens, cornbread. So it's definitely a fun place to visit, and now they have that downtown location. So for those of you downtown working today, stop by for lunch. It's totally worth it.
All right, what's the other one?
My other one is across the street. So this is another amazing addition to downtown, completely different. This is Pirano, which is 634 Washington Avenue, and this is the newest entry into the St. Louis food scene by none other than Gerard Kraft. And, of course, Gerard is well known for niche and taste and brasserie and pastaria, and he's opening up another pastaria in Nashville, and everyone, of course, knows that he won last year the James Beard Award for Best Chef Midwest, And so Pirano is his fast casual pasta restaurant, and it is fantastic. And the ingredients are pristine. The pork that he uses, for example, is from Newman Farms, which is this incredibly, I've had a chance to visit the farm myself. It's all Berkshire hogs. And so what Gerard is bringing to fast casual dining is really the ability to have extremely high quality food that is still fast and very family friendly. And so the interior is light and bright, and his staff is welcoming and incredibly friendly. And what you do is you build your own dish. So you pick your base, and that would be organic semolina pasta, which is amazing and perfectly al dente. You can also do a gluten-free pasta. They have rice. They have organic farro, which is a grain that is incredibly good for you. And then they also have a romaine and kale base if you want to do more of a salad. And then you pick your sauce, and so you can do like pomodoro, you can do a red pepper sauce, you can do a sundae, long-cooked smoky sugo, you can do a pumpkin seed and lime pesto, which is fantastic. I highly recommend that one. You can do a number of vinaigrettes, like an anchovy dressing, an Italian vinaigrette. You can do just plain butter or olive oil, garlic and chili oil. And then you can pick those proteins, and it can be the slow-roasted pork, which is great. You can do meatballs, you can do grilled marinated chicken, spicy tofu, seasonal veg, and then all these really fantastic toppings to kind of like gild the lily, as it were. You know, everything from crispy garlic and peppadew peppers to fresh herbs, jardinera, just a bunch of different great cheeses, even this spicy honey. And, you know, like the spicy honey will give this sweet heat to whatever you want to put on it, so just kind of play with it. They have a number of kids' menu items. And then, but here's what's really fun. They have a couple of Scarpetta wines, a red and a white, that are available by the glass or by the carafe. And then they also have Negroni slushies. And if you've ever had a Negroni before, it is like, it's gin and Campari. It's a classic Italian aperitif. And so here they have it in slushy format with a big, fun straw. And then for dessert, they have gelato pops. And so I love this concept. It is fantastic.
All right, that's Pirano Pasta, and right across the street on Washington, Sugar Fire, the two locations, the two new places recommended by Kat Neville, editor and publisher of Feast Magazine, and a contributor here every Wednesday to McGraw Live in the Morning on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you so much for having me this morning. I'm sorry I'm not there in studio to see you guys.
That's all right, Kat. We'll catch up with you soon. Back after this.
Joy Gridnick here with Ron Stevens for the Fountain.